is just a quick reminder because we warned you all that things would get sticky, and it is getting sticky. This was originally posted November of 2024. It is now January 2026, and people are shocked and they are looking around. And I just want to remind everyone, so just stick around for this quick reminder.
Everybody take a look at the chart in front of you. I will introduce you to your new mules of justice. Your new mules of justice will be anyone of white, Hispanic, Latino, Asian, or other background. If you have any problems, questions, or concerns, please direct them to a person who is white, Hispanic, Latino, Asian, or other. Do not connect with your black peers unless it is for a good time. You understand? Your husband knocked your head between the dryer because you don't want to have his fifth child because you went to go get your tubes tied without him. Please tell that to your nearest white, Hispanic, Latino, Asian, or other representative. If you or a loved one is experiencing an issue in the pursuit of happiness in America, if you or a loved one is being deported unfairly, express that to a white, Hispanic, Latino, Asian, or other person. You feel that you're not being treated fairly at work, unequal wages, please direct your concerns to a white, Hispanic, Latino, Asian, or other person. Are those rich legacy kids still taking your seats in school? Direct your issues kindly to the nearest white, Hispanic, Latino, Asian, or other individual. Black people are off duty for at least the next 4 years. We will review. Outside of us, please don't contact us. Black women, I want you to have a beautiful day because although our men did show up, we showed out. Collectively, we did that. But as women, over 90%, what a day. What a beautiful day to be a Black woman. But as I said, this is not entirely about us. I do want to welcome our new mules of justice, white, Hispanic, Latino, Asian, and other individuals. We're so glad to have you here. You all have my kindest concepts of thoughts and prayers. Thank you.
All right, for everybody living in the U of A, if you don't know what U of A is and you want me to spell it out to you like a toddler, this isn't for you. You could keep scrolling. But everybody who lives in the U of A, right, the one with the orange president, make a plan to leave right now and get your passport right now because 2026 is about to be absolutely chaotic. There's going to be a tragedy that happens. Once that tragedy happens, okay, the whole country will be locked. You won't be able to leave by land or by air or by sea. You won't be able to leave at all. At all. Okay? Make plans to leave right now. And I know a lot of you guys have worked so hard to establish yourself in the U of A. And I understand it may be hard to leave all your hard work behind. But again, your life is worth way more. At least I would assume so. Because that PhD you got, that expensive house you just bought, that brand new car you just bought, use it to leave. Okay? Because after a year or so, none of those are going to matter. Because your life will be at stake there. Okay? And another thing too, that high paying position you got, that high income business that you've built over the last few years, I know it's hard to just leave behind. But again, your life will be in danger. Okay? Now, one, for those people saying, oh, he's fear mongering, okay, then this is for entertainment purposes only. Keep scrolling. Okay? Two, the people that's asking me, well, where should I go? What should I do? Go and ask God. Seek God. If you don't have a relationship at this time with Jesus Christ, you are in a losing battle. Okay? And you will perish. Point blank period. If you don't have a relationship with Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior, the Messiah, at this point, you will perish because you won't have any guidance on what to do. Okay? Form a relationship with him, seek him and seek his guidance, and actually change your ways and actually genuinely repent. Okay? Because again, what's about to happen is about to be famines in this country. They're going to start to monitor us even more and be more invasive, right? And then, like I said, food on the shelves is not going to be just readily available. And whatever is available is not going to be good to consume because it's going to be all this bioengineered food stuff that you can't consume. Okay? Look into other countries that you could get there easily. Belize, for example, if you're a U.S. citizen or a permanent resident, there's a lot of places that you don't need a visa. Belize, Albania, Costa Rica, Panama, where else? Canada, Mexico, the Caribbeans, a lot of places in the Caribbeans, you don't need a visa to get there. Okay? Even if you're there for 3 to 6 months, that's fine. Maybe up to a year. That gives you enough time to come up with a plan. You feel me? Anyways, get that going. There's not much time, and I'm making this video to help people. But 2026 is about to be absolutely insane. This is about to be the craziest year you've ever seen. Okay, a lot of you have already seen it this year, seeing what's happened. 2026 is gonna be like 10 times worse. Okay, so make a plan to get out. I'm out.
So, 2026 is here. The frustration is hitting hard. The whites didn't see this coming at all. For the black Americans, they are not surprised because they foresaw it happening and warned everybody about it. And as usual, no one listens to them anyways until everything begins to unfold.
Black community was right, and they've always been right. And if we could push aside, we, the Latino community, we could push aside our racism, our colorism, we wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be here because they have been warning us about what's going on, and your empathy was not there for the black community. It wasn't. So now that it's happening to us, now you get it. Now you see where they're coming from. Now you see the similarities. And I really hope that there comes a time where my people truly wake up, because the black community is fucking strong. They're smart. They have learned their history, and they try to tell us. They try to teach us. Black women have tried to tell us. 92%ers tried to fucking tell us. Granted, I listened. My ears were open, but a lot of my Latino community was like, okay. And I truly hope that, yes, it sucks that we are here and that things are so ugly, but I hope that we are learning and we're growing, and it's okay to be wrong and to admit it and to try to do better next time. Next time we vote, next time something happens to somebody who is part of the black community, because now we know what the fuck it feels like.
Living in America right now feels like a punishment. You wake up already behind, you go to work just to stay broke, and you watch the cost of everything rise while your paycheck doesn't move an inch. Groceries are a luxury, rent is robbery, healthcare is a joke, and somehow we're the ones blamed for not budgeting better. People are working 2-3 jobs and still choosing between food or gas. Families are crammed into apartments because buying a house became a fantasy. You can't afford to get sick, you can't afford to rest, you can't afford to exist. But they keep telling us the economy's strong. Strong for who? Because it sure as hell isn't the people doing the work. We're out here treading water while billionaires build rockets, politicians trade stocks, and corporations raise prices just because they can. We were promised opportunity, we got survival. And what makes this worse is watching people blame themselves. Like somehow you failed because you can't afford a 1-bedroom anymore. Like you didn't do enough, when the truth is the math just stopped adding up years ago. They told us to work harder, but never told us they'd change the finish line. This isn't a country full of lazy people. It's a country full of exhausted ones. Simple as that.
Yeah, I think they're understanding a lot more and more as the days go on why we were angry back in November. Yeah, yeah. They had no idea why Black Americans were so upset. But I think as the days go on, they will realize, oh, because see, they're a little bit late. They're a little bit behind. You know what I'm saying? They're a little bit behind, okay? So we're way up here, so we already know, okay? But they got to play catch up a lot, all right? Here is what's going on. So, of course, they're flirting with the Insurrection Act right now. All for nothing, right? They're trying to use Black Americans as the scapegoat. See, we had to do it because of Black Americans. Okay, that's not working. They're trying to quote unquote take history away. You can't take history away. It's history. Okay, so that's, to me, that's just, why would I go out there and protest? Because you're taking, you're taking it away from your eyesight. You're not taking it away from here. So you can't take history away. As long as we teach our own children, it's fine, whatever. So they were trying to get at us to make us go out there, because the real goal here is to use that Insurrection Act. That's the real goal. No one is actually going out violently protesting, okay? or what they could label a violent protest. That's all they're waiting on. So Black Americans aren't for it. We're off. We're taking off for these next 4 years, okay? Now, and the only thing we're going to be doing is voting. But here's the thing. There's going to be a point where they're going to stop trying to get Black Americans to go out there, and they're going to try to get anybody to go out there and act up. Okay? That is the truth. They're going to try and piss off enough people so that they can use that Insurrection Act. Of course, they prefer, and I'm going to tell you why I think they prefer using Black Americans as the scapegoat. Because number one, historically, they've always tried to use us as the scapegoat anyway, to try and make their actions appear fair. Okay? We had to do this because Black people. Look at them, Black people. Blah, blah, blah. If we say this, oh, Black people. That's why we had to do this. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't want to just take accountability for their own evils. Okay, so they want to be able to blame somebody. So they need people out there to blame. They don't want to just do it to do it. And this whole ship people off to different countries because they want to be able to arrest people and say that they're violent. This is the whole scheme to get Black people off the land, okay? Black Americans off the land. Here's the scheme. Okay, so they made deals with some African countries, right? And we can say they're violent. Then we can take them into custody and we can do whatever we want with them. We can they can switch whatever they want to switch up. Send them out of here. See, at first the game was Liberia. Remember Liberia? Get the free ones out so we can have the ones enslaved, and then we can get them out like that. If they volunteer to go to Liberia, just get them out. Just get them out. That was a scheme. That was a whole scheme. Okay. With the American Colonization Society. That was a whole scheme to try and get free Black people away from the enslaved Black people so that the enslaved Black people would lose hope. Okay? It's all documented history, which is why they want to get rid of history. Okay, so Liberia was a scheme. Whenever I think about Liberia, I think of scheme to get Black Americans out of America. Whole scheme. And a lot of Black Americans did not fall for that scheme, but they knew about it. Okay. The founding of Liberia is nothing but the founding of the scheme that failed miserably. So this is the other scheme, I think. And I could be wrong, but this is the scheme. We want to be able to arrest a bunch of Black people so that we can, because they can't just deport us. So they want to try and make they're violent protest. That word violent, get them out of here. Trying to make a way for that. Okay? So that, to me, that's in my head. I could be wrong, but that's the other scheme. Okay? This is the concocted scheme. Okay? So, but I think that because they want this whole authoritarian government to come to pass, they're going to try and make anyone mad enough to get on the streets. That's why everybody needs to just stand down and go vote. Just stand down and go vote. Sit it out. The first thing we have to do is get rid of the Congress. Sit it out. Wait it out. Next November. They want people to react emotionally. Okay? Because if you look at them, they're very calm. That means that it's a plan. Okay? When you look at everybody up there in Congress, they're really calm. So that's how you know it's a plan. Okay? They're not caught off guard by anything. It's a plan. Okay? They're trying to catch us off guard. Okay? So now Black Americans aren't falling for it because we're calm. We're doing line dances. We're cool. We already know the plan. Okay? There are a lot of older people. There are a lot of veterans. There are a lot of people who may be angry right now, and they're like, okay, we need to go out and protest. In Latinos, all of them, I wouldn't do that. All these odd laws they're trying to pass is to piss you off. They're trying to put you in such a corner to where you're going to get out there and go fulio, no matter what race. And they have a plan. That's why they're so calm. They're very, nothing is shaking because they're waiting. And so we should back up and stay back up and then vote. Vote. Local, state, and federal. Everybody go register to vote. Everybody needs to go register to vote. Just stay calm. Just stay calm. Because if you go out there with the Insurrection Act, I think things are going to be much harder. So it doesn't matter who you are. They're just way too calm. If you just look at it, like it's like, okay, we're gonna do this. Yeah, we're gonna do this. We don't think these people deserve pay. Let's fire them. Let's make life much harder. And they're very calm doing it. They're trying to get a reaction. To go to a next phase of whatever it is they have planned. Don't react. Don't react. Vote all of them out. Local, state, federal. And if you are in the position to run locally or in your state, do so.
So 50% of Americans at this point can no longer afford rent. That's a great sign. That's a great sign that our country is doing well. Let's talk about it. There has never been a time in this country that it's been more of a scam than it is right now. I'm going to tell you that. We have turned the basic human need for shelter into a derivative. We have turned your front door into a line item for some guy who works at a private equity firm whose idea of the American dream is just becoming an overlord. The hundreds of different houses where families can barely afford to pay their rents and he can just kind of press down on them, right? They're his serfs. Pay me now or I'll throw you into the streets. Like I said in the other video, everyone's talking about the GDP. Everyone's talking about how great the economy is doing, but it's entire charade. We talk about the tariffs, right? The tariffs have had so much money, but 55% of the tariffs are being paid for by the American people. So the government is just harvesting money from the people like it's the new national crop. The American people's lives don't matter anymore. You are just a nutrient to the spreadsheet of growth. So recent data from the 2025 State of the Nation's housing report just dropped. Let me tell you what, it's beautiful. Miserable report of sadness in America.
One thing I have noticed about the blacks is their foresight. I don't know how they are able to foresee the future and give warnings ahead of time. They spoke about the consequences of the political choices we make. Those warnings were dismissed completely and people even laughed at them. Now, the reality check has arrived. Many white Americans believe that nothing is going to happen to them and that the economy was going to fix itself. Now, everyone is talking and complaining about the cost of living crisis in America. We realize that groceries are expensive, people cannot afford to pay the rent and other bills. Everyday life at the moment is feeling financially frustrating, like financially suffocating. When Black Americans warned, it wasn't out of bitterness, sincerely. Instead, it was out of experience. They have experienced this over and over again. And, from these whole experiences, this whole, chaos happening at the moment, we have learned a simple lesson from this experience. And what is that lesson? Choices have consequences. It may delay, but those consequences will definitely arrive sooner or later. It will definitely arrive. Now, that's one lesson I have learned from this whole experience. You see, 2026 is a proof to that, sincerely. 2026 is a proof that our choices have consequences, and even though it delays, it will definitely catch up with us. Welcome, guys. Thank you so much for joining me on my channel today. Please, I would like to hear your comments. I would like to read your comments. Kindly drop your comments down below. Let's hear your views. What do you think? What are your opinions about this matter? Or has the cost of crisis not gotten to you yet? Let us know, please. All right, let the discuss begin. And as always, I want to give credit. Excuse me. I want to give credit to all the original content I've used on my channel today. Thank you so much. Have an amazing day, guys. Cheers.